Okay, so now we're at the point where we're going to start doing the edging on this and putting beads around the edge of coin purse. So what I start with is I start at the center. You can start anywhere you want, as long as it's in the center or whatever you feel comfortable with. I normally start from the bottom here and work my way up and around. The only difficult part about this is doing the corners here, just because they're sharp edge under different angles instead of just going around on a singular circular object. And I normally like to start away from this zipper tab because it tends to get caught with the thread quite often, or the string. So this is double string, not at the end, and those go from the inside where it's gonna be tucked and hidden behind everything. Just run it through one time, so you're gonna kind of make a loop around just to secure it. Even though the knot's holding it, I want to have a loop in it so it holds as well in place. So I come through like that, and typically I like to go from the back this way, or I guess go through the work and come back towards me. Some people like to come through here and or from the back and go forward, but me, I like to go from, it's just personal preference, I guess. So I go through here, and like always, try to stay close to the zipper without going through the zipper on this section. Well, actually, around the whole thing. That's key. I mean, you can do any design you want. You can like do one solid color. You can stripe it. You can do like a really intricate outline or design, whatever you want. I mean, it's all up to you. I'm not here to say this is the right way, this is the wrong way, but this is just what I do. So from doing the outline from your layout piece, you kept this 1/8 inch border and you cut 2, and that's your final cut line, and that's what you're going to be beading around, is that little section. So with me, I just start and make a loop and start from the center. So this line here, on this one is the black and maroon. That is the center line going through both sides, and that will keep my line straight across. And each of these colors here will be an indication of where I need to start my loops and keep my spacing, which is pretty awesome. So what I do is make a loop around it, pull it, and pull tight. Not too tight where you're trying to break the string, but just tight enough so it holds in place. Once you start adding more beads, you can start to tie in tighter. And just go with whatever color combination you're gonna go with and loop around. So with me, I'm actually following this color pattern here, that fire color for the bottom edge, and you don't want to be right next to your beadwork. As you can see, I'm kind of off more to one side. I never put my beads next to my beadwork, so even though there is a big space here, I can adjust for the next row when I add on. So I can push my beads closer, but I can't pull them apart. I'm just gonna remember that. And with this 1/8 inch space around it, I'm able to fit 4 beads around comfortably without it being too bulky or it being too loose where there's a bunch of space. So as you can see, I should put the bead closer here, so it's pushing it towards that side where that gap was. So just mind your spacing on your pieces and just work your way around. I'm using size 13 beads to go around all of this. With 11s, I'm not sure because I don't use 11s. And that's based on trial and error on your part. So yeah, sometimes the beads don't want to sit right. You know, kind of move them, push them around to have them sit straight or sit right. It's kind of like having kids and moving your beads around. It does get tedious. It does take practice and does take some time to get it right, but once it's done right, then oops. So with this, you're able to push down on the back side of it. Push down and push up. So I'm trying not to sew into the zipper, like I said. But you do want to be close to the zipper. Because if you do sew into the zipper, then you can see on the inside. Once you open it and you show that, then you can see the stitching on the inside if you do sew into the zipper. And that is what I'm trying to avoid. That's why I go, it's probably easier to go probably this way for if you're starting, but then you kind of have to push down on your piece a lot. So for me, it's easier to push down onto the zipper than it is the actual beadwork itself. So I'm gonna go up to here, well, this corner here, then I'll just go quickly up to here. Well, I'll just skip this part until I get to the corner, then show how I do the corners here, then just do the rest. Okay, so the edging does go fast if you're used to this. I mean, it'll go a lot faster if I didn't really have to worry about sewing through the zipper portion, or not sewing through the zipper. But excuse me, it is all part of doing this correctly. So with the corners here, I'm at the corner now, so this part does get a little crazy. I mean, you could just go and do a straight stitch with just, well, actually, take those ones off to add white. You could just sew it just straight, 4 beads all the way across, coming up around the side. But then you would have that little part up, that little, it would kind of like bulge out with those 4 beads in there. Normally I go until you just see the line here, that black and white stripe, and then that turquoise there is my corner where it bends over. So I don't bead that part, I kind of skip that part, and I do this gold and black part where I put a place of bead, and I put it through. Same thing, just try to miss the zipper. You can catch a little bit of the zipper, but not too much of it. And just be sure to push your beads over so it sets right. And it does leave a little gap, as you can see. So it's 4 and 4 on one side. And typically what I do here is I take one bead out instead of having 4 and 4 and 4. This corner section here to have 1 less, so it's to have 3. And just go through the center, well, center portion of it, and come out like an angle this way. Because you're kind of start on that first white going upwards. And oh, the camera's kind of being funky. So you do 3, so then it kind of relaxes that corner. So then when you rub your hands against it, it feels smooth. It doesn't feel like there's an extra bead popping up. Like this one here, it just rounds over nicely. Normally if you add like a 4 across it, then it kind of has that bump or bulge, or it feels like there's a bead out of place. So I typically do like 1 less in the corners. And just keep going with that 4 pattern going up. But with me, since I am doing this, I'm actually going to stripe these colors all the way up with the white. So I'm going to start with the white and go all the fiery colors up to here. So let me get to this portion here, and I'll be back once, I'll be back when I get to this portion, so that I can show you how I do this corner. Okay, so I've managed to get this part done. As you can see, it came out quite well. I always do single stripes, but I decided to be better, and it incorporates all the colors that are in this side, on the outside. As you can see, I got close to the zipper without actually sewing it to the zipper. So it does give me a nice reveal for both sides. But to this corner, as you can see, I got really close to the corner as I could. And just wrapping around, as always. But now you just a little corner bit. But I get close to that part, I do 1 wrap around. Now I'm going to do this top here and come around the top. Basically just let me show you. So I went through, came around, and just wherever it came through, I came out. But I lined up with this last row of beads on the outside here, and kind of pulled across so I don't get my thread mixed up with my beads. So it does that. As you can see, it has all this gap here. And with that there, you can see the back. There's a lot of spacing, there's a lot of this and that going on. And here is where I do another set of 4 to get into that corner, so it's fully tight with beads. Oops. Must be a knot in my hank. So with that, go into the corner and just push straight through, because I'm going to go through this again. So 4 beads again, because that's going to go to the top of the beads. And we'll move it over to one side and push down. I mean, you could leave it like that, but there's still a slight gap there for me, you know, like gaps in my work. So we'll go 1 less this time. Instead of going with 4, we'll go with 3. But when we go through this again, you want to go next to your beadwork in the corner and go to the angle, so you're coming up. So you want to go through to here, or through the corner, go at an angle, like so. So then you're coming up next to that first row bead you put in, to start the rows going this way on the top side. And this part here is where you want to just put your beads in that gap and just push it around so it fills in. And you kind of just massages it in the area so it kind of lays natural, and pull it tight. So as you can see from the back side, it's completely filled, and even to the front it's filled in, so you get that really nice fill. So you do 4 here and put 4 on top, then you do 4 in the corner so it fills in that spot. Then you do 1 less, so it's 3 beads to go in that corner again, but at the angle, so it shoots out to the side. As you can see, it shoots out right next to that row I put on top. And all you do is pull down, hold your beads down, with your finger and just push down and tighten it up. And then you can continue your pattern or whatever you want to do on top. And that's what I'm going to do, and that is basically it. I mean, I'm not that good at explaining things, but I try to do my best. I mean, doing the sides, doing the bottom, the corner parts and all these really tight places is a little bit harder to do. But if you're doing like the rows and the runs that are flat and open, are way easier to sew. So as you can see, I'm starting again. I'm just going to follow the same pattern, basically. I don't know how far, but as far as I can to the center here. So let me just show you a little bit. So go to the front, up, and I'm trying to miss that zipper. Okay. And for me, for doing these sides, it actually kind of lines up with these row of beads here. So it gives me that indication of where I should be in my work, all the way up. So if I need to just follow this pattern exactly here, then I'll know where to start here. So this purple part is here, this yellow green part matches up with that green, and I'll do is match up on the side, and I'll get my pattern the same. So the purple here, I'll start here. The green here, I'll start on the side green. The red will end on top of that red. So I'll just follow that same pattern, and I'll keep it the same. As well as these lines going up this way. These rows, I guess. They'll give me my pattern. So when I come up this way, the middle part here, then I'll just flip it around and follow the same indication marks on this way of these colors. And I'll give me the same pattern and same design. And then all I do is take this, flip it around, and do the back side. So let me do that, then that's basically it for this portion of it until the reveal, which is the next video of me having this completed and doing my glamour shots with both of this, with this one and this piece. So hopefully that helps you, and I explained it quite well. If not, then you can comment below and or message me on Instagram, because that's where I do a lot of my things, or TikTok as well. So I'll kind of leave those below, and thank you for watching.